Hi everybody, this is Blossom from Tales Unfold, and today I want to talk about magical oils. How can we use them? How can we make them? Let's dive in! Okay, so I just made a batch of magical oils and I was faster than I had the camera out. I didn't know I would make a video necessarily about it, but then I thought, why not? But then I kind of already made them. They are now infusing. So what can you use magical oils for? So that you can use it for so many things. You can use it to imbue your candles, for example. If you have any kind of spell work, healing work, or whatever you do, you can imbue your candles with it. You can use amulets, talismans with it. You can use it to draw sigils on your door to protect your home. Or if you just want to enhance the energy in your home, for example, you want a bit more calmness in it and it feels a bit, you know, there has been something sad, you could use an oil made of rose petals, lavender and lemon balm, for example, and then you can again use symbols or sigils of any kind and draw that on your bed, on the walls, on wherever you want to, right? That's how we can use magical oil. You can also use it to attract money, for example. So you could put it on your wallet, or yeah, that's usually the classic, even though I hardly use a wallet now. Put it on your credit card. Then you can also use it for confidence, for example. You feel a bit low on confidence, you have a big presentation, for example, you feel a bit low on confidence, and then you just use a few drops that you could, yeah, where does it go? That depends a bit. Where does your confidence sit for you? Where do you need it? Let's say you want to speak clearly, you know, then you can put a drop of oil onto your throat. If you are scattered, if you are unclear, if everything is just too much, you can put a drop or so on your head or on your temples here. You can also use one for protection on yourself, of course, you know. Sometimes it's enough just a little cross with oil, or you want to open your heart, right? Your heart has been closed off, you want to open it again. So again, on your chest area, you can, a specific oil that you made for that purpose, or for strength and stamina before going on a hike. So if you have something for strength and stamina, you can just put a drop of oil on your feet. You can also use that oil if you are into art and you made any form of art, and put a drop of oil on there to make it a bit more magical. Or any, you know, any crafting projects that you can think of. So how do we actually make them? So we can use them for so much. How do we make them? What kind of oil can you use? It really depends on what you want to do with them. I have, for example, not just magical oils, but also magical oils, but they have like a real life purpose, and I will make creams and salves with it. I have, for example, an oil in the making now to make a face cream. For that I use almond oil. So if you use it as a salve, have a bit of a research what is best for your skin. Otherwise, you can use olive oil or sunflower oil. You can use a normal kitchen oil. That is all fine. You can also use jojoba oil. What else do you need to make an oil? A magical oil. Dried herbs. There are some exceptions of how you can use fresh herbs. It is easier and safer though to use dried herbs so that no moisture come into the oil, because sometimes the oil can get moldy then, and that's not what you want. So you need dried herbs, airtight glass jar, something like that. Let it sorry for the focus, because it's focusing on me. There. Another glass jar to keep your oil. I prefer those little brown bottles. This is one of 100 milliliter. Then cheesecloth or coffee filter, that works, and labels, of course. So best you have some form of label. It doesn't matter if it's a post-it and you put scotch over it, scotch tape over it. That's all fine. Whatever you have at hand. Now, what I want to say is, because it's not the first time I make oils, but I always make the mistake to have big glass jars. And it was always way too much, because you use a drop. Oils keep, depending on what oil you use, 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years. But it really depends, and I could not finish those oils off, so I needed to purchase smaller airtight glass jars. Those are also 100 milliliters, so we see how that goes, how much oil I will waste there. For the creams and the salves, it's not a problem, but for the magical oil, where you really just use a drop to anoint a candle, or a drop to anoint yourself or your door or whatever, you come a long time with it, right? So just saying that. Then the timing to make your oil, that depends. Is it important to you? For some people that is super important to have the right moon phase, the right way of the right day of the week, the right time of day. Are the planets in the right place? Right. However, your oil works for a while. It takes a few weeks until it's ready. So this is just me personally. Somebody will, but that's wrong. It's just me personally, because it works for over 3 to 4 weeks. The timing is not that important for me personally. If it is for you, then make sure that the purpose of your oil and the timing match. Now, what you do is you fill about 1/3 of your jar with herbs, with dried herbs. Then you pour in the oil, and then you shake it gently. And you label the jar with what is in and the date, so you don't forget. Put it in a dark and cool place. So if you have a cellar, that's perfect. Otherwise, somewhere where sun doesn't hit the oil. And you have to shake it every day for the next 2 to 4 weeks. That's usually how long it takes to be ready. What you can also do is send Reiki into it while you're making them. I did that. And then what I like to do, so this is my Faery oil, Faery connection. I also like to create sigils. You can copy that. That's for Faery connection. I have absolutely no problem if you use that one. So this is my Faery connection oil. I also going to tell you what is in there. Just a second. So for my Faery oil, I have elderflower in there, thyme, rose, apple, and hawthorn. That's in there for my Faery oil. What is important, or what I think is important, is you don't have to go for exotic plants or anything. I always use what I have at hand. If I'm missing something, then I look for something else. Whatever you have at hand can go in there. Of course, it has some connection. We all know the book with the herbal references. You can go by that. You can also have a connection to your plant, right? And go by that. What you can also do is use essential oils if you have, but they are quite expensive. Right? They are quite expensive. You know, I have my herbs in my garden anyway, but that's me. I don't know if you do have that or not. Of course you can buy herbs as well. I had to buy for my face cream, for example, I had to buy chamomile because I was running out of chamomile. I don't have chamomile at the moment, and it will take a while until that comes back. I also needed green tea for that recipe. I might just, you know, tell you another one that I made. So I made another one. I am going on a little trip soon, so I have my travel protection oil. By the way, if you're wondering about today, yes, I'm pre-recording. And in there went comfrey root, rosemary, oak, bay leaf, feverfew, and juniper berries, dried juniper berries. That was my travel thingy. What else did I bring? Ancestor. And ancestor oil, because I'm working more and more with the ancestors, and I think it's important. Well, it's more that, you know, also for my clients, I work more and more with the ancestors. So I think that's one. This one is a bit hard to tell you exactly what's in there. If it's for working with your ancestors, then think about your ancestors. What do they like? I add, for example, bay leaf in my ancestor oil because of a personal thing with one of my ancestors, right? It's not so much if it's in a book, if there's a correct reference. It's very personal. It's with everything anyway, right? That's why I say communicate with your plant spirits to know what you want to put in there. Now I also have one for antidepressant, right? That's one that I made. I have lemon balm, lavender, mint, and lemon verbena. Another one is harmony, lavender, rose, lemon balm, and chamomile. I just said that, yeah. Now to make a salve, it's also quite easy. I'm not going to film that because I don't know when I'm going to do that. In 2 weeks more or less. So if your oil, if you have shook it every day for 3 to 4 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, then you can strain it, you know, through your cheesecloth or coffee filter and put it in one of those bottles, and then it's ready to go. So if you want to make a cream or salve, right, you take your 100 milliliter of oil. On that comes 10 grams of beeswax and then 10 grams of shea butter. And then you melt it in a bain-marie, in a water bath. Is that right? Not directly. And then you pour it in a jar, in your cream jar. And it depends a bit on the consistency. If you have to add a little bit of shea butter or beeswax, you see that yourself, how it creams well. It's the first time I actually make a face cream for myself. And for that, just in case you're interested, I don't know if you are. That's for my needs now, for my face's needs. So I'm not saying this is it. I have in there sage, chamomile, green tea, lavender, orange verbena to be truthful, and rose petals. And like I said before, with almond oil. And I also have one. I'm just gonna tell you everything now, just because I can, just because I'm sitting here with my little notebook. So, muscle relax oil with a bit of a kick, with hot. There I have rosemary, cayenne pepper and chili flakes, cinnamon, curcuma, willow bark, juniper berries, and that's it. That's it's a hot muscle relax oil, but also when you have, you know, might have sore muscles or whatever. I also have my cool muscle relax oil. This is good on hot days when you go for a hike and the legs feel a bit tired, and so there I have rosemary, willow bark, juniper berries, peppermint, comfrey root, and again verbena. There we go. Now I almost told you everything what I made. I hope you can make something of that, and it's not that hard to make oils. You need a little bit of time And you need to remember to shake it every day. That's important. Shake it every day. Keep shaking it gently. You don't have to go crazy. This is enough, right? And store it in a dark place, and I will bring it to that dark place now. So I hope this was helpful. You can share this video, of course, if you like. You can also like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if there are any further questions, you know where to find me. You can either leave a comment or go to my homepage, talesunfold.com, and shoot me an email. I hope your world is kind. Much love to you, and bye.